I've got my new boots, Gaerne Fastback Enduro with the Enduro sole. And I want these to be a forever boot. So I'm going to start, as I mean to carry on, straight off the bat I'm going to get some polish on them. Before these get sort of all gritty and the dirt gets ingrained in the stitching and all the crevices and what have you, this is as clean as they're ever going to be. Straight out the box, they're never going to be this clean again. So this is the perfect time to get some polish on them now and see if prevention is better than the cure. So what I've done is I've got the Gaerne waterproof polish. Now this was £18 for 100 millilitres, so it's not cheap, so we're going to use that. But my wife, she's been using this stuff on leather shoes and our leather settee, and she swears by it, thinks it's great. So this is Renapur. Now this is £14, it's made in Germany, £14, and it's 200 millilitres. So you get quite a lot more for a lot less. So what I figured we'll do a bit of a shootout, a long-term test. We'll put the Gaerne polish on the right boot, and we'll put the Renapur on the left, and just see what they like to apply, and see moving forward how it works out. See if there's a cheaper alternative to this. Basically a 100 millilitre tub of some polish, and you get an applicator sponge as well. And the Renapur is pretty much the same thing. You get an applicator sponge, but obviously the tub's considerably bigger. Now before we start this, safety first and all that, she is out of the house, so there's no way that she's going to be coming in and watching me doing this on the dining room table. First off, they've got to be clean and dry and remove any dirt, obviously. Now we don't have to worry about that, so we can skip that step. Another advantage of doing it straight out of the box. And this stuff's fairly bland smelling. Now the idea is to spread it with the sponge onto all the leather parts. Now this being a enduro motocross style boot, there's an awful lot of plastic on here, so you have to lift it up and try and get it in and avoid any suede bits. It actually goes on all right. Makes riveting viewing, watching me polish my boots, but it's all in the name of science. And there's a loads of pleats, would you call them, on this? Yeah, pleats. They're a bit tricky. This part is suede, so you want to stay away from that. I don't know if you can see the difference between, that's where I've polished, and I haven't done this bit yet. But it gives it a nice shine. So I'll get this in the rest of this. I've just finished off the stitching around the sole, and there's no real pretty way of doing it. You just have to kind of smother it in there, and I figure I'm going to let it soak for a bit. It says let it rest and then give it a polish, so I'll let that soak for a bit. And I've got some kitchen towel which will hopefully get it off the plastic, but so far it's gone on pretty easy. You sort of wipe it on it, it seems to soak in quite easily. It's fairly easy to use, and it gives a bit of a nice shine to it. So we'll let that dry off while I start the other boot. This smells a bit more, I want to say beeswaxy. Oh, there you go, beeswax and jojoba oil, whatever they call that. So same thing again. I'm just going to smother it on there, try and get it into all the nooks and crannies, and then leave it to sit for 10 minutes and see what it polishes up like. Right, here we go. Immediately this is thicker. Definitely smells sort of beeswaxy. Goes on alright though. Very similar to the other side. That's, I don't know if you can see it, you probably can't, but a bit of a nice sheen to it. That's a bit more matte where it's new. Let me carry on, I'll get this one done. I'm going to give it 10 minutes and then I think I'm going to put a second coat on. While they're new, I think it's the easiest time to do it. But the one thing I would say about either one of these, or any polish, whichever you choose, getting them on when the boots are new is so much easier than dealing with all the crud that you try to pick out on dirty boots. So yeah, get them when they're new. I would say this Renapur is thicker, but that could be easily dealt with by maybe sticking it on a radiator, or in the summer I don't think it'll be a problem. The Gaerne is thinner, but they pretty much go on the same. Once you sort of start working it, this sort of thins out, if you know what I mean. So I don't have a bit of friction or whatever thins it out. But so far, from application point of view, I would say they're both the same. This one smells a little bit less chemically. It's more sort of, smells more natural. Whether it is or not, I don't know. There's 2 coats on this now. I left about 10-15 minutes in between each coat, and then just really lightly buffed it with a microfiber cloth just to get any excess off, and more to sort of work it into the stitching, any places that it looked like it had missed. They both look exactly the same, really. It's got a nice shine on it. The Gaerne, that's the Gaerne polish. I don't know how well this is going to come out. That looks all right. And then this is the Renapur, exactly the same. From an application point of view, I think the Gaerne goes on marginally easier, but I think it's thinner. I think if this was warmer, it would go on exactly the same. It's not really a problem. This smells nicer, and you get a lot more for your money. So I think, given the choice out of the 2, initially, I'd go for this one. I think the Gaerne at £18 for, well, half of this. It's kind of a no-brainer, really. Allegedly, this will do over 300 pairs of shoes, so it's going to last. You don't use a lot on either of them, really. You don't use a lot, so even if you buy this, it's going to last you. But yeah, long-term wise, we'll see. Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a look at this video here. I'll see you on the next one.